What is going on, YouTubers? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller. For this will be your All Elite Wrestling reviews, where it pertains to two shows of AEW Dark, that was from February 2nd, 2021, and AEW Dynamite, where it pertains to AEW Beach Break 2021 from for February 3rd, 2021. So, a lot to talk about what happened on AEW, so let's get right into it. So let's start out with AEW Dark from February 2nd, 2021. Your commentators were Excalibur and Taz, along with other guests on commentaries, pertains to Anthony Ongogo and pertains to -1, Brody Lee Jr. Obviously, they were in Jacksonville, Florida, in Daly's place, and let's get right into it. First of all, to talk about wrestling, just get that out of the way first, were 13 matches on AEW Dark. So, let's get right into it. We get to the first match. It was a 6-man tag match that featured Terrell Hughes and Terrence Hughes, TNT, teaming up with Mabadu, or I think it is Mbadu, something like that. It was basically the commentator was basically saying how it's to this up-and-comer who's been on Dark for, I guess, since last month, I think. But he ain't new on there, but he's been there for a while, so I can say I don't recall. I try to remember if he's been there before. But yeah. Anyways, they go up against the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rose and QT Marshall, and Nick Comparado. So yeah, Nick Comparado. I think they got a place for him in AEW here, after they were impressed of him going up against John Moxley on that Dynamite show, where I guess they're gonna they see potential in him, which I see potential in him too. So I'm glad they see some in this Nick Comparado guy. He's got the look and everything, and he's it basically gives you vibes of Bruiser Brody. Surge, but that's a scream. Sorry about that. Anyways, so as far as this match was, it was good match. In the end, it was the Natural Nightmares and Nick Comparado getting the win. And Nick Comparado got the win, by the way, with a military press into a power slam to one of the Hughes brothers. I think it was it was Terrell. And yeah, good showing there for Nick Comparado. Then we get to Rey Fenix versus Casey Navarro. Casey Navarro. Match itself was good too between the two. Showcasing what Casey Navarro is. Pertains to about his unique style in wrestling. Pertains to him being an acrobatic. But in the end, it was Rey Fenix getting the win with, of all moves, Eddie Guerrero's Frog Splash. And it was nice the way Rey Fenix did it too, paying homage to the late great Eddie Guerrero. So there you go. So yeah, it was a good match. Then we get to another match here. Ty Conti being accompanied by Anna Jay and -1 versus Tesha Price. Now, Tesha Price was not working as a heel here, which that should not be a problem either way, because I'd rather see her be a heel than to be a babyface. Not saying that she's not. I talked about this before. Yeah, nobody know about that whole thing with Tesha Price, I should say. She should be a heel because she plays good at it, but she also knows how to play a babyface too. But I prefer her as a heel, especially if they like I said before, they could do something with her being with Danny Jordan and this other girl. I'll remember her name once we get to her. And on top of that, was someone else who should be a part of that as well, and she should be a heel. But I digress. But anyways, as far as this match was between Ty Conti and Tasha Price, it was also a good match from both sides, obviously, and obviously Tay Conti got the win. Ty Conti, I should say, she got the win over on Tasha Price with the Thai KO. And there you go. And it was, like I said, it was a good match, and that's basically it. Tasha Price, I want to see more of her, and we're obviously gonna get more of her, and she's doing a splendid job as a wrestler, and hopefully she'll be a heel moving forward. But I digress. All right, so we take a break from wrestling from here because we get to another episode of The Waiting Room. So Rebel introducing Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and basically she made reference of Kenny Omega, of his latest fashion icon, of him being the latest fashion icon because of the shirt he wear, and then the shoes that he used on Pentagon Jr. or Penta El Zero Mil, I should say, and talks about the tag team battle royal that's going to be on Beach Break, which we'll get to that, and basically making fun of the Young Bucks, who always wanted to get themselves over. And she comments about the wedding, notes that she can always blame the butler for a bad photo, whatever. Charles Taylor, the butler from Miro. So then they introduced their guests, Ricky Starks, who is the Absolute from Team Taz. Still waiting for that whole thing where they're gonna try to invite Sting for this show, but we'll see. But so Absolute Ricky Starks comes out, and Ricky and Bray were telling each other that they look good, back and forth. They were basically flirting with each other. And I was looking at this and like, this is kind of awkward because Britt Baker is with Alan Cole, baby, and yeah, it was awkward. It was confusing. But Britt Baker was curious about what Ricky Starks has going on, and he's hyped up of his street fight against Sting and Darby Allin, which they did plug. That's gonna happen at Revolution, where it pertains to Ricky Starks and Brian Cage of Team Taz versus Sting and Darby Allin, the hoodlums. No, actually, the hooligans, I should say. Was that what Taz said about Sting and Darby Allin, that they're hooligans? I try to remember I try to remember that promo that was delivered to them. But anyways, Britt Baker calls Ricky Starks a shining star, and then Ricky Starks calls, something about the future is clear now because he's in front of Britt Baker. Britt Baker takes off her jacket, and all of a sudden, yeah, it was getting weird. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if they was trying to make out during this whole show and all that, because they was getting real close to each other. Like, so what's going on here? This makes no, to me, it made no sense. But I was like, I want to see where this goes. And Ricky Starks calls Britt Baker the Meghan Markle, I think that's what it says, the Meghan Markle of AEW. And I said to myself, who the hell is Meghan Markle? So Meghan Markle was someone that I had to look up to see who that was, and she is part of the British royal family of pertains to being the Duchess of Sussex, and Sussex, I think that's how you pronounce it. But I'm saying to myself, okay. But then they started Ricky Starks and Britt Baker sharing more basically, it was weird. They kept getting closer to each other and closer, and then it gets even more weird when Tony Schiavone comes out of nowhere, tells Britt Baker to put her jacket back on, and he says that we are shortly out of time. One of his usual catchphrase that he always says, and then the waiting room was over, and that was it. Like, wow, this was weird, but it was entertaining though, the way that was done. And that's all I can say from there. Then we get back to the wrestling on the show. we got Thunder Rosa versus the real mean girl, Danny Jordan. So they have a match, and obviously, Thunder Rosa is the one who's going to be facing against Britt Baker on the next, returns to Beach Break. I meant to say, on Dynamite. So obviously, she got the win. Danny, she got some offense, but in the end, it didn't mean shit because Thunder Rosa got the win either way. So. She won with the Thunder driver, by the way. And it was nice how Danny Jordan took it too. So then we get to Fuego del Sol and Very Morris, I think that's how I say it, versus Proud and Powerful from the Inner Circle, Santana and Ortiz. And obviously, Santana and Ortiz got the win. This is a squash tag team match. That's basically what they're known for on AEW Dark for Proud and Powerful. They'll give them opportunities on Dark, but they won't give them opportunities to go out through the tag titles. And we'll get to more of that when we do the Dynamite results, where it pertains to Beach Break. Then we get to legit Layla Hirsch versus Cataline Presley. Cataline Presley, who's the queen pin, I should say, from the Indies. On AEW, they already acknowledged her that at all, but she's known to be on AEW's shows on Dark and on Dynamite, and basically she's the one with the pink hair. And as far as her wrestling, really don't know much about her wrestling that much. I mean, she's been on Dark a few times, but she's only there, just being an enhancement talent and doesn't really showcase what she can do actually. So unfortunately for her, she went against Layla Hirsch, and you still don't know how impressive she can be. But she's working under the influence of Dustin Rhodes too. Just like other women's for AEW returns to the women's they need to get to improve and get a lot better. So Dustin Rhodes is there for them. In the end, Layla Hirsch got the win with the cross arm breaker. We got a music video from the Acclaimed talking about how they are going to win the tag battle royal and become number contenders. And while all this was going on, they're beating up on these guys. Obviously they're a bunch of trainees from other independent circuits, but yeah, it was the best entertaining music video I've ever seen from the Acclaim. Basically, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. Excuse me. So then we get to the match. Danny Limelight teaming up with Rising. To be honest with you, I'd rather see Danny Limelight teaming up with John Cruz instead of Rising. But they go up against the Acclaim, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, and Max Caster starts dropping his freestyles, basically just seen and mocking Danny Limelight of his tattoo, the Spider-Man tattoo on his chest and all that. Says something about Rising because of his hair. He look like some type of a tampon on his period, something like that. And then he whenever he says that he has the mic and he makes Taz pop. That's what he said. And also he goes run over to to Taz and all that. And basically and Taz was loving it too, by the way. I'm trying to remember what else that happened. We're doing this whole thing. Yes, because Aubrey Edwards was the referee of the match. He told Aubrey Edwards to there's a spider on his chest, whether it's not that, basically to Dan Limelight because that's Spider-Man tattoo he's got on his chest. It was entertaining. The Acclaim having this match against them. It was back and forth. It was decent. The Acclaim won, with the Acclaim to Fame. That's what it's called. The Acclaim to Fame. That's what it is, basically. Cause I was trying to remember what the name of the tag team move that they were doing. And they did to Rising. Good that Rising got lost the match because because I really don't see anything in Rising. We get a 8-man tag team match. Aaron Solo, Baron Black, Mike Vernon, and Sean Dean. These guys look like they could be a faction together. But they go up against Bear Country, which is Bear Boulder and Bear Bronson. And they team up with the team of Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. So the match happens. Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela basically did all the work, especially for Joey Janela. While Bear Country barely did anything. Not for all of them. I mean, they did something, but it was basically more to showcase Sonny Kiss and also to showcase more on Joey Janela. And I'll get too wide why they're showcasing him more once we get to the Dynamite. But I'm watching it since it was so, wait a minute, why they booking Joey Janela so strong here? Well, he's been nothing but a bona fide jobber in AEW, to be honest with you. It was weird how they were doing this, but it makes sense what they did on Dynamite, and we'll get to why when we get to there. But in the end, Bear Country, Georgiana, and Sonny Kiss win was Georgiana getting the win with the basically the bad boy flying elbow drop. So, and it was on to Mike Verna. So there you go. Diamante and Ivelisse versus Jasmine Allure and Vervixen. And match itself, it was decent. I enjoyed this tag team match. Obviously, in the end, it was both sides were good, obviously. So, in the end, it was Diamante and Ivelisse getting the win with all these multiple stereo strikes onto poor Jasmine Allure. That sweet little pretty young thing. She got destroyed. I feel bad for her, but in the end, they got the win because of that, Diamante and Ivelisse. Then we get to John Skyler and Ray Jazz versus the Gun Club, which it'll feature Billy and Colton Gunn, while Austin Gunn was on commentary with Taz and Excalibur, and he was going on commentary, by the way. He was all about positive and all that and having fun. Taz was annoyed of him. So the match happens. Good match. Back and forth. Loved it. In the end, it was the Gun Club getting the win with the 310 to Yuma, and that was it. And then Austin Gunn joins along with them to celebrate. And then Taz was like, I can't stand that kid. Just like he can't stand the rest of the Gunn family. Alex Gracia, the Pink Dream versus Red Velvet, straight from your mama's kitchen, having a match here, and it was good. I love the chemistry between these two. At one point, Alex Gracia was mocking, Red Velvet with the whole, stirring the pot, stir it up, But it was a good match from both sides. Obviously, in the end, it was Red Velvet getting the win with the Claymore kick. But that's basically what it was. The running single leg kick that she's always been doing. That's basically what it is. But I can't remember what was the actual move that she called before. It was like about months ago that it was named something pertains to her character, something like that. I can't remember. But obviously in the end, like I said, Red Velvet got the win. Both women looked good. And Red Velvet was the one getting a push right now because of the whole thing with Cody Rhodes, with Jade Cargill and Shaquille O'Neal. So, speaking of Shaquille O'Neal, we'll get to him when we get to Dynamite. He wasn't on the show at Dynamite, but he was shown on Dynamite where it tends to what he said, and we'll get to that when we get to it. 10 of the Dark Order being accompanied by Negative Uno. Negative Uno ends up being on commentary, and he was there to claim his bet from Excalibur, $5, because last time it was a match that 10 had. I think it was either 10 or 5. I'm pretty sure it was 10. If he wins the match, then Excalibur owes him $5, and that's what he came to claim the prize and all that. and basically he was on commentary too, basically intimidating Excalibur on commentary, and Taz was loving it. And but yeah, 10 go up against Jake Saint Jake St. Patrick's. No, Jake St. Patrick. Yeah, so he's back, and he's good, by the way. I like him. I want to see more of him. But he goes up against 10, and this match itself, it was decent. And in the end, it was Preston Vance, who is 10, gets the win. And again, Negative Uno keeps intimidating Excalibur to a point where he left. He couldn't take it anymore, so he left. Then we get to the main event. It features, and by the way, Excalibur at the end of comeback. So Excalibur, Anthony Ongongo, and Taz, all three of them on commentary for this main event match, pertains to Chaos Project, Dr. Luther, and Serpentico versus SCU, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian. And match here was decent. It wasn't bad because obviously pertains to Dr. Luther, he's past his prime, but he held his own in this match, so it was decent. So there's been the main event. No. But it was a decent match where I could praise this match. To be honest, I wish the main event should have been Red Velvet versus Alex Gracia. In my opinion, because I thought this was one of the best women's matches on the show here. And obviously you have Rey Fenix and Casey of our, how you say his name again? I'm sorry, folks. I got because he's essentially gonna be part of AEW. He's not really signed with them, but if he's part of AEW, I gotta get used to saying his last name. Casey Navarro. I could swear I saw his name here. Casey Navarro. Okay, Casey Navarro. It is great for instance, Casey Navarro should have been the main event. Instead, we get a tag team match instead. But it was also to feature Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian because SCU, if they lose a match, the next match they lose, then that's it. They're done as a tag team. Hopefully, that doesn't lead to that because they need to become tag team champions before that happens. So that Frankie Kazarian could be a singles wrestler and Christopher Daniels could focus more on being a backstage agent and other deals that he does for the company. Frankie Kazarian still got a lot in him. Not trying to say Christopher Daniels doesn't. Christopher Daniels can still go, but I think it comes to a point now that Christopher Daniels, I think he wants to retire. But hopefully they'll get an opportunity later on. And to be honest with you, what pertains to the what happened on Dynamite, it makes me wonder about that whole thing, which I'll get to it when I get to it. But yeah, they went with the celebrity rehab onto Serpentico, and SU gets to win, and that was it. And that will conclude this these results for AEW Dark from February 2nd on Groundhog's Day, by the way, 2021. And my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go with a 6.5 out of 10. So there you go. And now, folks, let's get to AEW Dynamite results, where it pertains to AEW Beach Break 2021, the show from February 3rd, 2021, at Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Your commentators were Excalibur, good old J.R. Jim Ross, and Tony Schiavone. So, there's a lot to talk about on the show here, besides the whole thing, what happened on the show, where it pertains to, well, let's just say we got a surprise debut, and we got some things that maybe makes me wonder why didn't this person wasn't in this match, and why we had these matches added on here, and yeah, but we'll get to all that, and also pertains to this whole wedding segment too. We'll get to that when we get to it, but yeah, so let's get right into it. So the opening match, and by the way, the setting that they did, obviously there's no else they're gonna be right now. They got us be at on Jacksonville, Florida, and all that, where it tends to do these special events on Dynamite. And They had the surfboards, some kind of palm trees, something like that. Some other things they had there, like were changed to beach break. I don't remember there being any sand. Pertains to the whole theme of beach break. Because otherwise you would have seen the beach ball, something like that. Either way, I don't know if there was a beach ball or not. I really didn't care about the sets that much. It's whatever. But basically they do this whole thing where with the whole thing of the theme of beach break. And to be honest with you folks, even though this was advertised as being one of the special events, on Dynamite, it didn't really feel like a special event at all. It felt like just a regular Dynamite show that they did. So, that's just how I feel, especially with that whole wedding segment that they did. And we'll get to it when we get to it. But let's get to the opening match here. The opening match, I was thinking to myself, since I heard about these matches, that's been announced. I'm thinking to myself, maybe the lumberjack match was gonna happen first with Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston, or maybe the other match that was announced out of nowhere, and Adam Page and Matt Hardy versus Chaos Project, or the battle royale that features the tag teams, which that was the one that opened up first, the tag team battle royale for an opportunity for the AEW World Tag Team Championship at Revolution. However, if the Young Bucks wins, because they're the tag team champions, they get to choose an opponent for Revolution. Spoiler alert, they didn't win. As much as I'd love to see them win, but at the same time, there was someone else on here as well that wanted to win more. But basically, here are the teams that were in there. And I'm about to get to the teams that should have been in there, and the teams that I think that should have won is the teams that we got who won because of the storyline that they're trying to do here. So first of all, you have Top Flight, which is on Dante and Darius Martin. You got John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order. Your Dark Order, you have Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. You have the Acclaim, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. You have Luchasaurus. Jurassic Express, of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. You had Private Party, Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy. You had, obviously, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, the AEW World Tag Team Champions. You have Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager. Together, they are Sammy Hager. And once again, Sammy Hager, the singer who ends up being on the show, he was basically rooting for the Sammy Hager team in Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager. And then you had Chris Jericho and MJF of the Inner Circle, obviously. And I'm looking at this and I see myself, wait a minute, where's FTR? And then it comes to find out, FTR was replaced by Alex Reynolds and John Silver of the Dark Order. And I say to myself, why? We'll get to that when we get to it, folks. Because it really irked me of why they were replaced in the first place. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Because there was a segment later on where it tends to FTR. But we'll get to that. Also, I was like saying to myself, wait a minute, where's SCU? Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. Why weren't they in this match? Oh, by the way, another team, Santana Ortiz. I forgot to mention them, by the way. I apologize. Santana Ortiz, proud and powerful from the Inner Circle. So, but I'm seeing this and I'm saying to myself, where's SCU? Now, unless the Young Bucks was going to win this match, maybe the Young Bucks could have chose SCU for Revolution. Spoiler alert, they didn't win. Wait, I already mentioned that, by the way. I already mentioned they didn't win. So, and I'll get to why they didn't win too. But this Battle Royal tag team match that they did, it's the same rules that they did last time, where if one team gets eliminated, it doesn't matter because the other teammate is still in the match. Because it was different from how WWE did it. Pertains to WWE's, and I remember this a while back, where if one of the teams gets eliminated, then the other team, the partner has to be eliminated along with them. Despite that person that was never eliminated. So, for example, You're probably gonna sound confused when I'm saying this, but for example, what tends to WF, the headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher. If Thrasher gets eliminated, Mosh gotta go along with him, despite Mosh never been eliminated from the match. So where it tends to AEW here, since I'm gonna say this right now, since spoiler alert that Young Bucks gonna win again, since Matt Jackson got eliminated, that doesn't mean Nick Jackson gets eliminated. He still stays there, which means they still have a chance of winning this battle royale, which they didn't. But we'll get to that. So yeah, I'm watching this and everything, and I see myself. I know AEW's got a lot of tag teams, by the way. One of the best tag teams in tag team division right now for pro wrestling. They got a lot of tag teams, a lot. That's saying much over to WWE's tag team. Oh yeah, that's right. There is no tag team in WWE. So yeah, but I'm like, where's SCU? Where's FTR? And I'm trying to think about other tag teams too as well. I can't say Bears Country because they're not real established yet. They just got there, and then plus I don't think they're signed with AEW. I mean, they're there on the roster for AEW on Dark, but other than that, they're not really part of it. And I think so maybe Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss will be in this match too because they are a tag team. They're not in there either. And I'll get to why we'll tend to Joey Janela later on. But we'll get to that. So, as far as this match was, I thought the match was good. Despite who won this match, I thought this match was good. So here's what happened in eliminations here. Dante Martin was eliminated first. And then you had Alex Reynolds who got eliminated. Then Jake Hager was eliminated. I can't remember who eliminated who and all that. But I'll try my best to remember who got eliminated who, by who and everything. But as far as Jake Hager, I can't remember who eliminated him from the match. But yeah, Matt Jackson who got eliminated from the match. You got Anthony Bowens got eliminated from the match. Stu Grayson gets eliminated from the match. I can't remember who eliminated him though. But Luchasaurus gets eliminated from the match. By the way, Luchasaurus was wrestling with his mask that was cut, with his horns getting cut off and everything. And again, I'll get to that part where it changes with FTR. Of the whole thing happened later on. What was explained. But Luchasaurus was wearing the his mask, with the horns being cut off by the FTR from last week, and it kind of looked weird because I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, you got another mask, so why can't you wear that mask? It was stupid. Evil Uno, he got eliminated by MJF. Mark Quinn gets eliminated by Darius Martin for a top flight because Pryor was trying to do the slave string, but then Mark Quinn gets eliminated. And then John Cena gets eliminated. I think by MJF. Wait, was it by MJF? Was it MJF or was it someone else? Yeah, I think it was MJF because MJF is all about getting the heat. So because John Cena got eliminated, the crowds booed MJF, which is nothing new there. MJF always gets booed because he's a heel. He's an original heel. But at the same time, you got fans that love John Silver, and they hate that he got eliminated. But let me just say this, folks. I wasn't really upset with that because they wasn't going to win either way. So Ortiz and Santana got eliminated, and I'm like, well, that's it. There goes that. I wanted them to win, and they didn't. That was bullshit. Even the crowds didn't agree to that elimination. Isaiah Cassidy gets eliminated. I don't remember who he got eliminated by. I think by Nick Jackson, I'm assuming. And then Nick Jackson gets eliminated, I think by MJF. Either it was MJF or Mass Caster. I can't remember if Chris Jericho made eliminations at all, but it's whatever. But Nick Jackson gets eliminated. And I'm like, well, there goes that one too, by the way. Because, with Nick Jackson, sticking around, the Young Bucks clearly chose SCU at Revolution. or maybe FTR Revolution since FTR wasn't in this match. But instead, he got eliminated too. And why he got eliminated? Because he was oh yeah, I remember now. Isaiah Cassidy got eliminated because the Good Brothers came out. This is part when the Good Brothers came out. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Well, Doc Gallows, I should say. Isaiah Cassidy gets eliminated by the Good Brothers because they're doing a program for them in TNA Wrestling, well, Impact Wrestling, I should say, for the Impact World Tag Team titles. That's going to happen at No Surrender. And they're building that one up. And at the same time, they're still building tensions between the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers because they're supposed to be buddies and all that, right? Because, Bullet Club, too sweet. So, or in this case, the Bootleg Club. So, anyways, and then Nick Jackson gets eliminated because he got distracted by MJ. He got distracted by what the Good Brothers was doing there and all that and everything. So MJF eliminates him, and basically Nick Jackson blames the Good Brothers for that and everything. So, we were left in the ring by Jungle Boy, MJF, Max Caster, Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho. Also, Darius Martin. And also, they start going at it. And then Jungle Boy gets eliminated by MJF. Crowds boo, by the way. And crowds were into Jungle Boy too, by the way. But he gets eliminated. I was expecting him to win either way, but I was actually expecting him to be either the final 4 or final 3. But nope, he didn't even last. He was not part of that final 3 or 4. Because I thought I was going to lead to that, but no, it wasn't. Unfortunately, and the crowd didn't like that. And then MJF gets eliminated, I think by Matt Caster. I think Matt Caster eliminated him, and also Matt Caster gets eliminated by Chris Jericho or Sammy Guevara. I can't remember which of the two it was. Oh, I'm sorry. I remember now. It was Jericho eliminating Max Caster and Sammy Guevara at the same time. Jericho then didn't realize that he made Sammy Guevara too, and Sammy Guevara was upset of that. Sorry about that. And then we have Darius Martin and Chris Jericho in there by themselves. And then I think to myself, wait a minute, is Top 5 gonna win here? And I thought, and I should have known better because they're doing this whole storyline with Chris Jericho and MJF being a tag team of the Inner Circle. And then on top of that, Sammy Guevara being upset that he got eliminated because Chris Jericho didn't know he made him know that. That's basically the story that was played there. And then in the end, Jericho wins with the juice effect because Darius Martin tried to get in, but he got juice effect out of the ring, and that was it. So MJF, Chris Jericho are the winners, and they are the number contenders against the Young Bucks for Revolution, and I was not a fan of that. As far as the match was, I thought it was good. I didn't like the decision of this match, of Jericho and MJF winning. I understand what they're doing, but I don't like it. It should have been Santana Ortiz. It should have been FTR. Or it should have been SCU. Those 3 teams I would have been fine with facing the Young Bucks of Revolution. I was not fine with Chris Jericho and MJF winning. I was fine with them winning the match last week. Wait, was it last week or was it 2 weeks ago? I can't remember now. Oh yeah, it was two weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Sorry, folks. Last week was MJF and Jericho versus the Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. So, but the match lasted 12 minutes, and yeah, there you go. Not much to say about that, folks. I just wasn't a fan of the winners of the match. Good match, but was not fond of who won the match. Now, what happened afterwards? Alright, so after the match, Jericho and MJF are celebrating. Sammy Guevara looks pissed and he walks away. And they're building up something with Sammy Guevara. It's gonna be kicked out of the Inner Circle, and he's gonna turn a full blown babyface. And by the way, the crowds were into Sammy Guevara too. By the way, Sammy Guevara has babyface persona written all over him, and he's gonna be over like a motherfucker. he's going to get over with these crowds. Now, unfortunately, there's no jam-packed crowds to foresee this live, but the fans watching at home and everything, and those for those hundreds or 500 whatever that are there for the show, they see where it's going to lead to. Sammy Guevara is basically the favorite of out the inner circle. He's going to be the big star coming out of that out of the inner circle as a baby face, and I see him potentially becoming the TNT champion somewhere down the line. Maybe not right away, but I can see that happening somewhere, either for All Out or Full Gear. We shall see. We get a vignette highlights of Jade Cargill of her training, working out and all that. They didn't show her training and wrestling and all that, but they show how good she looks too, and all. Basically, they're preparing Jade Cargill for her debut. Now, unfortunately, the match that was supposed to happen at Revolution was unfortunately changed. I guess we'll talk a little more about that later, but I might not even talk about that at all. But we'll see. Just a little something to talk about. Just for you to think about. Sting and Darby Allin comes out. They talk about Revolution, a match that is going to happen. The Street Fight cinematic match that's going to happen. Darby Allin will defend his TNT Championship title against George Janela next week. Tony Schiavone was inducted in this interview, and I'll get to more of that later. By the way, folks, we're James George Janela. Again, if you saw my dark results, I'll be teasing George Janela thing. You'll get to more. You'll get more of that once I get to it. But it was interrupted. This whole thing that happened by Team Taz. They're not allowed in the building because of what they did last week. With the whole thing of attacking the staffs who's in charge of the merchandise stands. And Taz says, basically they're not invited into the buildings and all that, but they're keeping an eye on Darby Allin and everything, blah blah blah, and Sting, and potentially what's going to happen next week. And Ricky Starks says to Sting, he has a message to Sting saying that Sting doesn't think that Sting is the icon that he claims to be, and he will get hurt if he's playing in the jungle and all that. So then Starks saying to Darby Allin that he's definitely going to need luck next week. So next week they will be back in the building, Team Taz, but this week they're not. They're banned from the building. So Sting says in reply of Ricky Starks saying that he will be here next week, which no surprise because Sting's gonna be here next week on Dynamite on Wednesday night. Of course, he's there every week. He's never absent. He never misses a AEW Dynamite show. So of course he's gonna be there next week. So. And why not? He's not doing anything on Wednesday nights anyways. But hey, at least AEW is having Sting doing something every week on Dynamite than doing nothing like in WWE. Right, WWE? Anyways. But Sting says, he's going to make sure this is one-on-one. And says to Ricky Starks, he's saying, basically he takes offense of, he doesn't see the icon. And he says to him, maybe you should take a closer look. And he stares at the camera, and then that was it. That was not much to say about that. So there you go. Not much to say about that. Decent segment. So I'll say that. Now we get to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, being covered by Rebel, not Reba, versus Thunder Rosa. 13 minutes and 15 seconds it lasted, and the match was good. I actually enjoyed this match. So we're tends to take out the trash of Dr. Britt Baker DMD, but there's nothing there, by the way. That's for someone else, because Britt Baker did a great job here in this match here. So Britt Baker improved by wrestling one of the best wrestlers in Thunder Rosa, which means I'll not be taking the trash out of Dr. Britt Baker DMD for this, because she really did improve after coming back of that injury that she had since last summer. So, Britt Baker, I'm on board with you now. But she's still a little green, but her moves are good. The moves that she did to Thunder Rosa. By the way, Thunder Rosa was basically laying Britt Baker, kicking her ass in this match. I mean, it was too back and forth, but Thunder Rosa was putting over Britt Baker here because obviously Thunder Rosa, who still works for NWA, she's still under contract with NWA, is putting over AEW star like a Britt Baker. That AEW see a lot of potential in Britt Baker and all that, pertains not just character wise, and she's starting improving her character wise too and all that. I was trying to get more behind her now, after she came out to to get back in the ring and all that. So Britt Baker is really winning me over here. But Thunder Rosa, man, my gosh, she was basically making Britt Baker look like $1,000,000 here in this match, and I love the chemistry. This was a very good match between both women, obviously, because Thunder Rosa is obviously she's good, and Britt Baker shows how good she could be too. But she's no Michael Jordan, by the way. I still cannot get over that fact that she calls herself the Michael Jordan. But anyways, so yeah, the match was pretty good. Rebel kept getting involved just for a little bit. Even more sense distracting the referee. But yeah, this match was incredible. One of the best women's matches on the show here. In fact, it was the only one women's match on the show. Pertains to these two. The finish though. The finish was kind of because how it was delivered. So the turnbuckle was removed. I think it was the middle turnbuckle that was removed. Yeah, the middle turnbuckle. Because this was where Britt Baker's gonna set up the flatliner type of way, that kind of like how Seth Rollins did. Like how Seth Rollins does. Where it tends to ungovern your opponents and then into the turnbuckle. That whole thing. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. For those who watch WWE, you know what I'm talking about. And yes, I used to watch Seth Rollins matches before, and I know his move sets and everything. So I know what he does. Just because I don't watch them anymore does not mean I don't know anything about Seth Rollins. He even did those stuff back when he was Tyler Black in Ring of Honor. So, anyways, but yeah, so Britt Baker does that, and she was basically going like all the way, and then does that to Thunder Rosa, but Thunder Rosa didn't really hit the turnbuckle middle part of it that was exposed, and she pretended she was knocked out. And like, okay, that's why I was like, I was not a fan of that finish. But the finish was Britt Baker goes on to put on the lockjaw, and she got the win with the referee stopping the match because Thunder Rosa didn't respond. Because she didn't respond, referee stopped the match. So it was by stoppage that Britt Baker won the match, and we all knew that Britt Baker was going to win. We kind of figure how this was going to have this how they gonna have Thunder Rosa lose by being protected, and they did. They did protect her, but the way it was done, it was like they could have done a better job with that, in my opinion. I'm not trying to say have her face on the middle part of it, and then she gets hurt, but because there's a way to protect yourself from that. So, but like I said, the way it was done, that's good. Me thinking about, but that's how I felt. It was not good. But the match was still good though. It was still good. It was a good follow up of the tag team battle royal that they did, and I was not mad when Britt Baker won. I knew Britt Baker was going to win here. And I was fine with Thunder Rosa losing, because again, Thunder Rosa is putting over someone like a Britt Baker over, and she understands that. She understands that Britt Baker is someone to be pushed on AEW, and if she becomes women's champion, I'll be fine with that too. Britt Baker, if she wins the tournament, which I think she is. We'll get to more of that of it, which it has been announced of who's gonna be in the tournament. I still don't think they announced a date of when it's gonna happen yet, but we'll see. But yeah, there you go. Not much to say about that. Let's see. Anything else happened after the match? Besides Dr. Sampson looking over at Britt Baker. I mean, not Britt Baker. Thunder Rosa after that spot that happened. Okay, we get to what happened last week with the interview of Tony Schiavone, Alan Page, and Matt Hardy. So Tony Schiavone is interviewing both Alan Page and Matt Hardy. This was after Alan Page was done with his match last week against what was his name again? Ryan Newmuth, the brother of Dolph Ziggler. And Matt Hardy says that Alan Page is he knows for a long time, and he knows what he's capable of and all that, and he's looking forward to be his tag team partner. And then And Page is intervenes, saying, "Oh, hold on, I'll not team up with you. I don't want to be on, sign any contracts or whatever, because you're a con artist or whatever, something like that." Basically referencing that, hey, no, it's not like that. He's like, yeah, I'm just happy. Yeah, he's basically saying, this is Matt Hardy saying this. He says that saying that what happened last time, with the Chaos Project, trying to ruin the birthday of Brody Lee Jr. and everything, blah blah blah, and the whole Dark Order thing. He just suggests to be teamed up together just for that one night against Chaos Project to take care of them, which makes no sense because the Dark Order got their revenge on what pertains to Brody Lee Jr.'s birthday being crashed by Chaos Project because they won. But whatever. But it was something for that, for Adam Page to agree with him, and he did. So we get to this match. That was advertised out of nowhere. The Hangman Adam Page and Matt Hardy versus Chaos Project, which is Dr. Luther and Serpentico, and Matt Hardy and Adam Page wins. The match itself, I was not a fan of the match. I didn't like the match. By the way, I should point out, after the buckshot lariat by Hangman to Serpentico, Matt Hardy gets the blind tag because he wanted to get the win. He wanted to steal the win, and he did. And for look at the Hangman was upset, but then he was not upset. He was actually praising Matt Hardy and celebrating with him. And like, okay, I don't know. I guess they're gonna do more of this with these guys. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? But either way, it's whatever. But yeah, the match, I didn't care for the match that much, folks. I didn't really care about the match at all. It shouldn't have been on the card. It should not have been on the card of the show. Then we get to the women's world title eliminator, highlighting who's going to be in the match. You got, from one side, Japan, and the other side, the United States. The one for Japan is Aja Kong, Yuka Sakaaki, Vernie, Emi Sakura, excuse me, Ryo Mizunami. Yeah, you gotta bear with me, folks. These are Japanese names, obviously. Mia Suruka, Rin Kadukura, and Mika Iru. And they're representing Japanese. They're representing, Japan, I meant to say. The ones that represent for the United States side is Serena Deeb, who is the NWA Women's Champion, Riho. And yes, I know she's Japanese, but the reason why she's representing for the United States is because she is on the contract with AEW, and she found her way she did find her way to the United States too. So, I'll get to more of that later. But Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, she's part of it too. Ty Conti, Thunder Rosa from NWA, Nyla Rose returns after her being coming close to COVID-19. Anna Jay, and she's good to go, by the way. Nyla Rose, legit Layla Hirsch, and that was it. So yeah, they got their 16 women's already lined up. Now I thought they was gonna have women's from Dark to be part of this tournament. Instead, they're gonna have women's from Japan to be part of this tournament. And I thought to myself, as I'm looking at this, and I said, wait a minute, where's Diamante? Where's Ivelisse? Why didn't I include it? Well, maybe not Diamante because she's not really signed with AEW. But Ivelisse is. But why Ivelisse is not in this match? I don't understand. And Thunder Rosa, yeah, I don't get why she's in the match. But at the same time, I do get it because she is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. But she's from NWA. She's not really with AEW. Now Anna Jay, Nyla Rose, Layla Hirsch, Ty Conti, Britt Baker, Serena Deeb, Riho, they are part of AEW. Also you have Aja Khan, Yuka Osaka Aki, and Emi Sakura. They are part of AEW. we just have been seeing them because obviously the pandemic, and I think a few of them may have been part of it too. Maybe not all of them, but a few of them are part of some of them too. But again, pandemic. Um, but I don't get Thunder Rosa being in this match because Thunder Rosa, she's in the NWA. And I get when I say the other women's from AEW Dark as well, like a Killing King, a Danny Jordan, Tasha Price, Kathleen Presley. Presley? No, I mean Perez. Catalina Perez. I meant to say. Hell, not even Red Velvet's in this match, which I get why too, because Red Velvet is going to be part of this angle with Jay Cargill. So yeah, I'm thinking myself where I was good. I get they're not part of AEW as well. We're chance to sign with them. Even with chance to Alex Garcia. I thought that it would be something like that, but no, it's not at all. They chose who they want to be in there, and that's how I did. Basically, the way they did it. One side is Japan, the other side United States. So that's how they did it. Now, as far as the brackets, they didn't really show the brackets because I still think they're gonna do the bracket stands whenever they can with the whole random draw thing, which I think is gonna be stupid how they're gonna do it. Like they did last time with the women's tag team tournament that they did. That was ridiculous, by the way. Ridiculous. Hell, not even Dasha, who wrestled for the women's tag team tournament. Not even she was part of this. I thought maybe she'd be part of it too. I think in my mind, but no. Instead, they chose who they chose. But it's fine though, which is fine. The Japanese women's from that side, I can't wait to see most of them what they're capable of. Aja Khan, she may press her prime, but she can still go in the ring. So not like she used to, but she can still go. And on top of that, she's a freaking legend. And the winner of the tournament again will face Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's World Championship. Now, as far as the tournament is, they haven't really announced the date of it, but we'll find out pretty soon. Hopefully, we'll get more of that later. They gotta do this. They gotta do the finals at Revolution. Basically, they gotta do this before Revolution starts. But again, the pandemic with this whole pandemic going on thing, and I don't know how they're gonna do this too. By the way, pertains to this whole thing, but we'll find out how they could try to do this. But anyways, then we get to MJF and Chris Jericho celebrating. They get into the Inner Circle office, and they were all annoyed, especially Sammy Guevara. But most likely proud and powerful. I meant to say, So Jericho is saying that the other was losing collateral they're saying others losing was collateral damage and all that. But Sammy Guevara was asked, why they were always the collateral damage, and then says to Jericho, Jericho always talks about them being together, but sometimes he's not sure, and then also he starts leaving, so Jericho follows Sammy Guevara. He's like, don't be upset and everything, right? So those two leave. Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho leaves. And it makes you think myself, because we know eventually it's gonna happen. Jericho is gonna be leaving the Inner Circle too, along with Sammy Guevara. But I think Sammy Guevara's gonna be the one leaving first. So this part is one part of MJ's plan to break up the Inner Circle here, and you're really seeing this happening and all that. So MJF tells the rest of the guys, we need to talk about something. But first, Wardlow, get the camera out here. So as the camera gets out by Wardlow, we don't know what they're discussing about, but I'm assuming that they're gonna have Santana Ortiz, Jake Hager, to side along with MJF to try to get Jericho and Guevara out of the Inner Circle. I don't know how it's gonna be done. I don't know if it's just gonna be Sammy Guevara or what. But that's something we have to find out. We have to wait and see. But other than that, I don't know. I just don't know. It's confusing. When you think about it. What they're planning on doing. But we shall see. We shall see. All right, folks. Let's get to this dumpster fire of a segment. So Tony Schiavone interviews Kip Sabian and Miro with Charles Taylor, the butler for Miro, basically Chuck Taylor from Best Friends. Backstage, making fun of Chuck, or should I say Charlie. I mean Charles, meant to say Charles. So also Vicky Guerrero walks up and tells Kip Sabian it's time for the wedding. And Vicky is walking down, Kip Sabian down to the aisle. And they have this wedding segment in the ring. So, and you will not believe who was the pastor of this whole thing. Of all people, Father James Mitchell. So, the former sinister minister, Father James Mitchell from Impact Wrestling, is gonna have Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford get married. And by the way, he's got a license to really do this too. By the way, folks, So, yeah. So we get Jerry Lynn walking down the aisle, Penelope Ford, in her wedding outfit, which looks like she's wearing like a lingerie wedding dress type of thing that she was doing. Which I'm not complaining about. Wait, she looks sexy in there. It was more of a both the way that it was designed. It was basically making her look skanky, which I'm pretty sure she doesn't mind. So Kip Sabian spoke first. Said the first time he stared eyes at Penelope Ford's boobs, he literally said this. He knew they were meant to be. Basically, he's being a simp. Penelope Ford starts talking, saying you're the biggest, and then hold on, that's all you need to say. I already know how you feel about me, so let's keep this going. And then they start exchanging rings, and then Miro stops Father James Mitchell by saying if anyone objects, the whole thing, speak now over hold your peace. Miro says no, we've been down that road before. We're not doing this anymore. Basically, taking shots at WWE for just their wedding segments. And I know what he's talking about with that one. So they start kissing. And Miro gives a toast to the newlyweds. And then Charles Taylor hands them champagnes. And then Miro basically knowledge something. Oh yeah, he gives knowledge about something about the power of love, something like that. I can't remember if that's what he said. Pertains to Kip's wedding present, whatever. But before he did, Miro talks about basically he gives a speech saying what is love, and then the crowds were for a reason they start singing what is love, baby don't hurt me no more, what is love, 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 baby don't hurt me don't hurt me no more. Okay, but Miro was going on with it, and he's like, hey, okay, shut up, yeah, idiots, or something like that. Basically insulting the fans after that. Basically the person he knows there, it was from Charles Taylor. And then Miro was like, oh, that's great. And then also he starts checking the present, and it was written in there. And then he tells Charles to clean it up. And as he's cleaning it up, Miro continues to talk and everything about what is love. And the crowd's again, what is love, love, baby, don't hurt me, don't hurt me, no more. So as it's all going on, Miro and is saying let's get ready to cut the cake now, the wedding cake. And then also Miro couldn't move because he was shackled by Charles Taylor. And I said to myself, what the hell? And then all of a sudden Kip Sabian tried to go after Charles. Chuck. At this point, he's Chuck Taylor because at this point he betrayed Miro. He's no longer the butler now for them because the Wayne thing is over now. So Miro grabs he does grabs Taylor, and Sabian goes to hit him, but he misses and hits Miro. And then all of a sudden, jumping out and then Ford, before I meant to say, jumps on the back of Taylor, beating him up, and then Sabian beats him out too. But Miro can't do anything about it because again he's shackled from his ankles to the ring post by Chuck, and it's always happening because Miro tells Kip Sabian I mean not Kip Sabian, he tells Chuck Taylor to clean up the mess that he made, that Miro made, and all of a sudden Orange Cassidy comes out of the cake and delivers his finishing with the beach break, because the show beach break, onto Kip Sabian. Also, Plum before got her face smashed in the cake, but it wasn't really that much cake on her face because she botched that too. In fact, this whole segment was a botch, and that was it, folks. So yeah, they basically ruined the wedding, and that was it. So yes, folks, this wedding that they did here, I was not a fan of it. I never was a fan of it. This was a disaster. This was a dumpster fire. This was not good. No good can come out of wrestling wedding angles. So this was a fail. All that build up for this. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to know what this means. Because it's time to take out the trash. Trash, do you take this, the wedding of Kip Sabian and Puppy 4, to be a lawful wedding dumpster fire of a trash? I do. Good. I now pronounce you trash and trash. You made trash the trash. Well, now we got that out of the way. Let's move on. So then we get to a video of Shaquille O'Neal accepting Cody Rhodes' challenge. That's going to happen, unfortunately, on March 3rd on AEW Dynamite, the Go Home Show edition for AEW Revolution. Pertains to Shaquille O'Neal and Shaquille O'Neal and Jay Cargill versus Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet. And why is this happening on March the 3rd on Dynamite on the Go Home Show edition of AEW Revolution instead of having it on Revolution on March 7th, I believe, of 2021? Because Shaquille O'Neal has obligations to be a part of the NBA's All-Star game on that day. That's why they're not doing it on Revolution. So it would be nice to have it on Revolution, the pay-per-view, but they decided to have it on Dynamite instead. But that's not what irked me. What irked me about this segment was that Shaquille O'Neal was in this this whole thing where he was doing his the NBA coverage with Charles Barkley and other guys that were there too, and there was a plexiglass too there, by the way, because that's the whole protocol for this pandemic. So Shaquille O'Neal is, for whatever reason, now it's been referenced before, like Shaquille O'Neal's referenced this before to other people, not just with Cody Rhodes. I never acknowledged that at all over the years, but after seeing this, I'm like, wow. Maybe I may have missed it during his time at WWE as well. But he calls Cody Rhodes a cupcake. He calls him Cupcake Cody Rhodes. When I think about it, it really makes me now I'm feeling hungry. I feel like having some cupcakes now. But Cupcake Cody Rhodes. Yeah, coming from a big giant guy a legend in the NBA, calling someone a cupcake. A grown man calling another grown man a cupcake. And then Shaquille O'Neal goes to the Pepsi glass and he says, "This one gonna do the Cody Rhodes." Knocks on the Pepsi glass. And like, what is this? Like, hopefully the match is good. But then again, this is Shaquille O'Neal. And Shaquille O'Neal I just don't know. This segment was a disaster. His response to Cody Rhodes. This is what the video was. The response to Cody Rhodes and everything. It was trash. Speaking of trash, and there's no disrespect to Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. This lumberjack match was trash. 7 minutes it lasted. By the way, the tag team match between the Hangman and Matt Hardy versus Chaos Project was 3 minutes and 55 seconds. It was short to the point, but then again, that shouldn't have been on the card. And this match shouldn't have been on the card either. Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston lumberjack match. Name it because of the stipulation, the lumberjack match. But Lance Archer is being covered by Jake Roberts, and they have Eddie Kingston being covered by the Butcher, the Blade, the Bunny, and you got your AEW Dark, rosters on as lumberjacks, and I can't remember who else was. But yeah, also the Butcher, the Blade, the Bunny were also lumberjacks. Also, Jake Roberts were lumberjacks too, along with them. Since why not, right? So yeah, why was this trash? Because it was nothing but chaos. I cannot remember any good lumberjack match that AEW had on this on because they did last time with Luchasaurus and Wardlow. I was not even a fan of that one because I knew what it was going to be about. It was going to be all about spot fests and chaoses. That's all it was. Also, the Gun Club was part of it too, by the way. This was trash, and I feel sorry for Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston being a part of this atrocious of a lumberjack match that they pull out here. And on top of that, it made no sense because when everything was going on outside, and then a couple of them start getting in the ring. Ali got on top of the Bunny, got on top of Lance Archer. I'm like, why wasn't Eddie Kingston disqualified from there? I don't want to hear any bullshit that there's no disqualifications. No disqualifications. There's always a disqualification during lumberjack matches. That's the whole point of them. And then that table got in the ring by I can't remember who it was. But that person gets I can't remember who went to the table either. But like, oh my god, this was bad booking. Again, I feel bad for Eddie Kingston and Lance Archer, but this match was fucking garbage. It shouldn't have been on the card. If you want Archer and Kingston to have a match, make it a no disqualification match. Don't have a lumberjack match. This was shit. In the end, Lance Archer gets to win. Moving on. Then we get to FTR. They're bitching about they were pulled out of the tag team battle royale. And why would they pull out of the tag team battle royale? Because of what they did to Jurassic Express last week. Which I'm assuming are why they were removed from it. It can't be just what they did after attacking Jurassic Express last week after the match was over. My guess of why they did it, to remove them, is because they cut the horns off of Luchasaurus' mask. That's what I could think of at this point. But it was never mentioned. Of why they were even removed from the battle royal in the first place. And some of women, that's why they were removed. That's why they were not part of the battle royal because what they did last week to Jurassic Express. So then, in the process of it, and by the way, Tully Blanchard was awesome here. By the way, kind of this promo, saying that everyone is scared of FTR. Fear the revelation. All they want is a tag title shot, and he says, that's what we need. We need the tag belts to showcase they are the best tag team, FTR. And all of a sudden, they bring in Marco Stunt, tied up in a chair. Basically, they kidnap Marco Stunt. Basically, they kidnap a child. I think myself, maybe they'll beat him up in front of them and everything, but nope. They just showed them they kidnapped him, and that was it. Joey Janela cuts a promo about Darby Allin. Says that they have a long history of mangling each other and blah blah blah. And says that the bad boy is back, and he's going to become the future TNT champion. No, he's not. Spoiler alert. So yeah, that's why George Janela is getting a shot. You know, now he go a long way with Darby Allin, which I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons, because they came from the indie circuit. But also, if you remember, back when I was talking about AEW Dark with that results and all that, but George Janela being booked strong, that's why they did it, to make him look strong against Darby Allin from next week. Even though no one watches Dark anyways. And I'm sorry to say that. No one watches AEW Dark. Because all people care about is what was on Dynamite. That's all people watches. They watch Dynamite. They don't watch Dark. So they probably confused of why George Janela getting a shot of this title. And it's a shame, and it sucks too, because AEW is not doing a good job with this. How to advertise Dark shows, other than what showing results of it on their shows. Pertains to the words passing by, whatever. Basically the graphics. That's not enough. That's not good enough. You gotta show highlights. You gotta show highlights on Dark of what's going on Dark. To get people to care, and maybe have them tune in to watch it. But whatever. Main event time. 6-man tag team match. 15 minutes and the lumberjack match, I should mention, 7 minutes it lasted. But 15 minutes and 25 seconds it lasted with the 6-man main event tag team match. That featured Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, and the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Machine Gun Carl Anderson, the Impact World Tag Team Champions. Together they are the Bootleg Club. And they go up against the team of Jon Moxley and 2 of the Death Triangles, Pac and Rey Fenix. By the way, Don Callis was there with the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega. Also, Don Callis was on commentary during this match. So the match happens, and I see myself on this match. This match was good. I love how the match was booked. I love how the match was presented. I love how the spots they did in this match, and it was good. Now, unfortunately for this match couldn't save us from this disaster of a show. In the end, it was the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega getting the win, with the Magic Killer on to I think it was on to Phoenix. Yeah, it was on Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix got the pinfall. He took the pinfall, I meant to say, on the from the Good Brothers, which, by the way, Doc Gallows got the win, by the way. So yeah, good match. And with the heels winning, which I kind of knew they were gonna win too, so no surprise there. After the match, though, Jon Moxley goes right after the Bootleg Club, and all of a sudden Lance Archer comes out of nowhere and attacks both other Good Brothers, basically the hell out of them, which leaves Moxley and Kenny Omega alone. Omega's down on the floor. Moxley is stalking him. All of a sudden, a masked man gets in the ring and hits Jon Moxley. I say to myself, what the hell? And he reveals himself, and it was Kenta, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and also Bullet Club Kenta, who is the challenger for the United States Championship title, which is held by Jon Moxley, that has not been defended for over a year. So Kenta, he shows he's wearing a Bullet Club t-shirt, which it says "Go to Sleep Club," his version of Bullet Club t-shirt, which has been done so many times with other Bullet Club members like Hangman Adam Page, Cody Rhodes, Marty Scurll, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega at one point, all those guys at one point. And currently, we got guys like Evo in there, the Spoiler, Dick Togo, El Phantasmo, the Bone Soldier, Tetsuya Ishimori, Yeah, just a name review. But anyways, but Kenta goes for the golden seat to John Moxley, and it was not delivered well, unfortunately, because it didn't look good. Kenta didn't connect with it, unfortunately, and John Moxley sort of like he got hit with it. It was bad, but in the end, Kenta, he repaid John Moxley of what John Moxley did to him. So let me talk about that. So New Japan Strong, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, which is on a Friday, every Friday on New Japan World, which is located here in the United States, in California, and that's where Kento's been wrestling a lot. El Phantasmo, Leo Rush, Blake Christian, ACH, fuck him, TJP, Fred Roster, the former Duran Young, Dane Limelight, there you go. Hikuleo, who's part of the Tonga family, also part of Bullet Club. Just to name a few. But yeah, they that's their version of New Japan Pro Wrestling USA, because they can't go to New Japan Pro Wrestling because pandemic. But some of them did end up going back there, like a Phantasmo, a Kenta, just name a few. But even Jay White wrestled there too. So Tamatonga, Tangalola, they did too. Just again, I'm sorry about that, folks. But anyways, but yeah, as I was saying, so it was during the shows, which I did watch. It was a 6-man tag match that happened. It featured Leo Rush, Fred Rosser, and who else was there? Who else was that in the match? I can't remember who they team up with. I'm assuming it's Danny Limelight. I can't remember if it was him or not, but I'm assuming that it was him. But they went against Bull Club's Hikuleo, Phantasmo, and Kenta. And as the match was over, and the heels lost by the way. And they started beating up on the babyfaces, to show how to show losers. And then lights goes out, lights comes back on. John Moxley appears, takes out the Bullet Club, of the three, and Kenta was face off on their own, and then Moxley takes him out with a turn down shift, and then he basically he grants his challenge. Kenta will finally get his hands on John Moxley. It's gonna happen this month, by the way. I don't remember the date, but it's gonna happen this month between John Moxley and Kenta at the New Beginnings USA. And it's gonna happen here, obviously, in the US, because the New Beginning USA. And that's what, and then Kenta, he decided to return the favor to John Moxley by coming to AEW here to do what he did here, and that was it. And Kenny Omega starts going over the body of Moxley while Kenta was out of the ring, and they stares at him, at Moxley. But also there's two tensions there too, because Kenta and Omega. Can't make who's not part of Bullet Club anymore, but Kenta is, and we all know but Tamatonga taking shots at at the Bootleg Club, and Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks, and then with Kenta being part of the real Bullet Club, I mean the real Bullet Club. Meanwhile, you got the other wait, I say Bootleg or Bullet. Kenta part of the real Bullet Club with Tamatonga, while you got Kenny Omega. The Young Bucks and Good Brothers are calling up Bullet Club, which they're in Tamatonga calling them the Bootleg Club, because they're not really part of Bullet Club. They're not Bullet Club anymore. So there's could be tensions there between the two, and it's gonna make more sense of it too once we get to what's going to happen next week, because next week it's gonna be Kenta and Kenny Omega versus John Moxley and. Who's the other? Oh yeah, Lance Archer. Yeah, for a reason, Lance Archer's gonna team up with John Moxley. Okay. But yeah, it's gonna be that, and guess what? And guess what they all have in common? Those guys, Kenta, Kenny Omega, John Moxley, Lance Archer, all wrestle in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So there you go. It was great to see Kenta there, but not even Kenta appearing there couldn't save the show either. The show to me was trash. Unfortunately. But that will include your Dynamite results for Beach Break 2021. Didn't feel like a special event. But Toma Wrestling was 5 matches. And that's my overall strength for the show. 5 out of 10. Not their best shows. Despite, having Kenta there, having Britt Baker and Donna Rosa having a good match, and then the Battle Royal having a good match. The main event match was a good match. The rest of the show, the rest of the show felt fat. The rest of the show, with the 2 matches that I didn't care for, and then the some segments I didn't care for, especially that wedding segment. It was a letdown, all a letdown. And that was it, folks, for your all Elite Wrestling reviews.